Hello, this is Slate with Combo of Rocks, bringing you another video deck tech of a deck that we built and have for sale. If you're not familiar with us, we make and sell custom budget EDH decks. These decks are light on the budget, so they may not be optimal or competitive, but they're definitely fun and centered around a central theme that you can build on. Today we have Kumena, Tyrant of Orazca. If you notice, it's a foil. This deck is 100% completely foiled. I put them in inner sleeves to protect them a little bit better, and I take precautions and measures so that they don't curl up. But this is 1 blue-green for a 2/4 legendary Merfolk Shaman. You can tap another untapped Merfolk you control to make him not be able to be blocked. You can tap 3 untapped Merfolk to draw a card, and you can tap 5 untapped Merfolk to put a 1/1 counter on each Merfolk you control. So yes, this is Merfolks. Let's get into the deck. We have another commander option here in Hawkball of the Surging Soul. 2 blue-green for a 3/3 legendary Merfolk Scout. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each Merfolk you control explores. So you look at the top card of your library, you can put it into your hand if it's a land, otherwise put a 1/1 counter on the exploring creature, then put the card back on top or in your graveyard. When it attacks, you can put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. If you don't, draw a card. We have Deep Fathom Echo, which is 2 blue-green for a 4/4 Merfolk Spirits. At the beginning of combat on your turn, it explores. Then you can have it become a copy of another creature you control until end of turn. Void Slime, blue-blue-green for an instant. You can counter target spell, activated or triggered ability. Tishana's Tidebinder, 2 blue for a 3/2 Merfolk Wizard with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, counter up to 1 target activated or triggered ability. If an ability of an artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered, that permanent loses all abilities for as long as this remains on the battlefield. Voldalian Hexcatcher, 1 blue for 1/1 Merfolk Wizard with Flash. Other Merfolk get +1/+1. You can sack a Merfolk to counter a non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. Deeproot Pilgrimage, 1 blue, enchantment. Whenever 1 or more non-token Merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. Richardon Dockhand, 1 blue for a 1/2 Merfolk with Island Walk. 1 tap and tap target land. Strix Serenade, 1 blue for an instant. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell its controller creates a 2/2 bird creature token with flying. Quasi-Duplicate, 1 blue for a sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. It does have jumpstart, so you can cast it from your graveyard by discarding a card and exiling it. Robe of the Arc Magi, 2 blue for an equipment. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards. Equip 4, but you can't equip a Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard for 1. Kumena is a Shaman, so this is great on him. Exploration, 1 green enchantment. You can play an additional land in each of your turns. Comes in handy when you are exploring and have a bunch of extra lands in hand. Elven Chorus, 3 and a green enchantment. Look at the top card of your library at any time. You can cast creature spells from the top of your library, and creatures you control have tap to add a mana of any color. Deeproot Elite, 1 and a green for 1/1 Merfolk Warrior. Whenever a Merfolk enters under your control, you can put a 1/1 counter on target Merfolk you control. Jadelight Spelunker, X and a green for 1/1. When it enters, explore X times. Jehoira's Respite, 4 and a green for an instant. Search your library for up to X basic lands, where X is in the number of creatures attacking you. Put those onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle, and prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Merfolk Mistbinder, blue-green for a 2/2 Merfolk Shaman. Other Merfolk you control get +1/+1. Nykinzil Current Conductor, blue-green for a 2/3 Merfolk Scout. Whenever a creature you control explores a land card, you can put the land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature you control explores a non-land card, put a 1/1 counter on Nykinzil Current Conductor. Jester's Cap, 4 mana for an artifact, 2 taps, sack it, search your opponent's library for 3 cards, exile them, then player shuffles. Just a good way to end somebody's combo, getting rid of their key combo pieces. Simic Signet, 2 mana, 1 tap, add blue-green. Arcane Signet, taps for mana of your commander's color identity. And Soul Ring, 1 mana to tap for 2 colorless. We have Coastal Piracy, 2 blue enchantment. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Mentor's Guidance, 2 blue for a sorcery. Whenever you cast a spell, copy it if you control a planeswalker, cleric, druid, shaman, warlock, or wizard. Again, Kumena is a shaman, and there's quite a few wizards in the deck. Scry 1, then draw a card. Sage of the Falls, 4 blue for a 2/5 Merfolk Wizard. Whenever it or another non-human creature enters under your control, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Silvergill Adept, 1 blue for a 2/1 Merfolk Wizard. As additional cost to cast, reveal a Merfolk from your hand or pay 3 colorless. When it enters, you do draw a card. Augur of Bolas, 1 blue for a 1/3 Merfolk Wizard. When it enters, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can reveal an instant or sorcery from among them, put it into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Triton Wavebreaker, 1 blue for a 1/1 enchantment creature Merfolk Wizard with Bestow, 1 blue, so you can cast it as an aura onto a creature. If it's attached to a creature, it has prowess, and the enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has prowess. River Herald Scout, 1 blue for 1/2 Merfolk Scout. When it enters, it explores. Grey Harbor Merfolk, 1 blue for a 0/3 Merfolk Rogue. Can't be blocked, gets +2/+0 as long as you control your commander or a planeswalker. Brianborn Cutthroat, 1 blue for a 2/1 Merfolk Pirate with Flash. Whenever you cast a spell during your opponent's turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. There are quite a few instants and counter spells in this deck. Reality Shift, 1 in blue instant, exile target creature's controller, manifest the top card of their library. Filter Out, 1 blue instant, return all non-creature, non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Pretty handy, especially when you're playing a creature deck. Turnabout, 2 blue instant, choose target artifact or choose artifact, creature, or land. Tap all untapped permanents of the chosen type target player controls, or untapped all tapped permanents of that player controls. Handy when you're tapping your Merfolk with Kumena, or just tapping down your opponent's stuff. Deep Analysis, 3 in a blue, target player draws 2 cards with flashback, 1 in a blue, and pay 3 life. Counter spell, blue, counters any spell. Get out, blue, choose 1, counter target creature, an enchantment spell, or return 1 or 2 creatures and or enchantments you own to your hand. Versatile. Remand, 1 in a blue, counters a spell. If it was countered, instead of putting it in its owner's graveyard, put it into their hand, draw a card. Negate, 1 in a blue, counters a non-creature spell. Ice Out, 1 blue, you can bargain to make it cost 1 less. Second artifact, enchantment, or token. It does counter any spell. Step Through, 3 blue, sorcery, return 2 creatures to their owner's hands. You can wizard cycle this. You discard it for 2 colorless and search your deck for a wizard. Again, there's many wizards in the deck. Pretty much tutoring for a wizard. Glowclap Lantern, 1 green for an equipment. Equip creature as you can look at the top card of your library anytime, and whenever it attacks, it explores with Equip 2. Twist and Turns, 1 green enchantment. If a creature you control would explore, instead you scry 1, then that creature explores. Whenever it enters, target creature you control explores. Whenever land enters under your control, if you control 7 or more lands, transform it. It does become Mycoid Maze. Taps for green. 3 in a green, tap. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature from among them, put it in your hand, the rest from the bottom in a random order. Seeker of Sunlight, 1 green for a 1/1 Merfolk Scout. 2 in a green, it does explore, activate only as a sorcery. Kumena Speaker, 1 green for a 1/1, gets +1/+1 as long as you control another Merfolk or island. Sea Note Scout, 1 green for a 1/1, when it enters, it explores. Jade Bearer, 1 green for a 1/1 Merfolk Shaman. As it enters, put a 1/1 counter on another target Merfolk you control. Royal Treatment, 1 green instant, target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Create a royal token attached to it, so it's a token enchantment that gives the creature +1/+1 and ward 1. Utopia Sprawl, 1 green, enchants a forest. You choose a color, it taps for additional mana of the chosen color. Coordinated Clobbering, 1 green, tap 1 or 2 untapped creatures you control. They deal damage equal to their power to target creature an opponent controls. Spinning Wheel Kick, XX green, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. Guardian Gladewalker, 1 in a green for a 1/1 Changeling Shapeshifter, so it is a Merfolk. When it enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Mulch, 1 in green, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all lands revealed this way into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Summer Bloom, 1 in green sorcery, you can play up to 3 additional lands this turn. Great with Mulch, great when you've got exploring creatures and putting lands into your hand. Rampant Growth, 1 in green, search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. Farseek, 1 in green, search for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain, put it on the battlefield tapped. Cultivates, 2 in a green, search for 2 basics, put 1 on the battlefield tapped, the other into your hand. Kodama's Reach, same card, but it is an arcane sorcery. Not relevant, but could be if you add to the deck. Roiling Regrowth, 2 in a green, instant, sack a land, search for 2 basics, put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Scale the Heights, 2 in a green, put a 1/1 counter on 1 target creature. You gain 2 life, play an additional land this card, and draw a card. Hunter's Insight, 2 in a green, instant, choose target creature you control. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw that many cards. Inspiring Call, 2 in a green, instant, draw a card for each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it, so those creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Broken Wings, 2 in a green, instant, destroy target artifact, creature with flying or enchantment. Crushing Canopy, 2 in a green, instant, choose 1, destroy a creature with flying or destroy an enchantment. Break Down the Door, 2 in a green for an instant, exile an artifact, exile an enchantment, or manifest dread. And Colony Ambush, 2 in a green for an instant, target creature you control fights a creature you don't control. Can also be a tapped green land if you need it to be. Into some actual lands here. Rejuvenating Springs, Botanical Sanctum, Yavimaya Coast, Fabled Passage, Lakeside Shack, Lush Oasis, Quandrix Campus, Path of Ancestry, Command Tower, Secluded Courtyard, Unclaimed Territory, Unknown Shores, Evolving Wilds, Myriad Landscape. Some basic islands here, we'll go through them. Some of the neat Innistrad ones. Some regular islands here. And some regular forests. Real quick before you go, I just wanted to show you the cost of the deck. If you want to pause and note the cards that are in the deck, you can also do that here as well. But see at the top right there, it says 100 cards, $105. That's about what I'm selling this for, $104.99. But I hope you enjoyed the deck, and we'll see you next time.